Hello and welcome to the Nintendo Network, and today I'm joined with Matt. It's been a while since he's been on the channel. How are you doing, Matt?
Just dandy.
Very good. And today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. I've been pretty quiet about it on my channel, not because I'm worried or anything. It's been busy with other things, and I wanted to sit down with Matt, and we're both long-time Pokemon fans. We've both played since Red and Blue, and we kind of want to go over what we want to see in Sword and Shield before we start seeing more information from it. Probably here coming in E3 we'll get a few new things, and then usually about fall we'll get news dump after news dump after news dump before the entire plot's given away.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's my first thing. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
I'd like some mystery going forward into Sword and Shield. I don't want to know every Pokemon. I don't want to know the final evolutions of the starters. I know we knew them going into Sun and Moon. X and Y we didn't until it was leaked. I think it was like someone in France or Europe got the game early and leaked everything.
Was it? I want to say Mexico.
Was it Mexico?
I could be wrong. Yeah.
Well, somewhere. And I legitimately can't think far back enough for Black and White. So maybe it did, maybe it didn't.
Yep.
But that's kind of what I'm wanting first off is show stuff. Pokemon sells itself. They don't need to push it a lot. But show some things. Show a lot around Galar and Galar.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear it pronounced a few different ways today.
Yep. Oh no, I'm going to talk about something. I'm going to butcher whatever it's supposed to be called.
I cannot wait. So that's one of my first ones. Let me just pull up the notes here. The notes are gone on my phone. So won't you start us off because I have to pull them back up.
Okay. Well, do you just want to start with the starters?
Sure, we can talk.
Okay. What do you think?
First thoughts, I think they're fine. It's hard to grant a full opinion until you know what they are later on. Are we getting a firefighting again? I truly don't believe that. Score Buddy pretty much confirms the Zodiac theory for the fire starters at this point.
Well, I mean, I even sent you the text the morning of the release, or the announcement, saying, okay, it's going to be one of these 5 remaining options. I specifically said I don't think it's going to be the rabbit. I was very wrong. Mainly, when you look at the animals, there's 3 quadrupeds left, basically 4-legged animals, but then again, last gen was a tiger, which is also a 4-legged animal, and he's upright. So, I'm overthinking it, and what do I know?
Overall, they're simple designs. They work. I've seen some theories online where they're going to kind of be sport themed. Oh, because you see Grookey kind of hit the little stick as like a cricket bat. And that originated in England, which Galar is based off of. Score Bunny looks like he's going to be doing kind of based on soccer or football.
Yep.
Actually, according to my analytics, I have like no one in Europe, so I can't call it soccer who watches my channel.
Well, the funny thing is the original name for the sport is soccer. And the name actually did originate in England. For some reason, they're calling it football, and they are kind of wrong, despite the fact that the rest of the world pretty much calls it football. I know a lot of useless trivia.
Pretty
much.
The more you know. I'm going to try to do that in this video.
Well, and where did I learn it from? A podcast. Guess where the podcast is from? The UK. Yes, I'm a dork.
And then Sobble is a swimmer.
Yep.
So my guesses are their final evolutions, not names or anything. I think Sobble will end up being Water Ghost because he was kind of clear and he's timid to begin with. I know that's supposed to be acid armor, or at least that's how it worked in the anime, where they were kind of translucent, but I think he'll be ghost type just because of that. I would say Grookey will be grass fighting because the little I know about cricket, and well, not cricket, but maybe I was thinking rugby when I thought this, because there's rugby fighting and rugby. All British sports just become one in my head.
Yep.
I'm going to stand by. I think he'll be grass fighting. And I think the only idea for me with Score Bunny being soccer based almost is maybe fire ground, but being a fast ground Pokemon, which could give it some uniqueness.
Well, if we want to look at the type matchups and everything from before, when they add a secondary type recently, there's also been this double kind of rock, paper, scissors triangle. Ghost against Primarina's Fairy.
Fairy type.
And then Fairy was good against Dark. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so my idea of Ghost fighting and ground does not work this triangle, though.
If you take my overthinking theory and think that that's real, which...
It could be. It's
plausible, but...
Does it work for X and Y?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have... Greninja was Water Dark.
Which beat Delphox's Psychic. Which beat Chestnut's... is he fighting?
Yes.
Yeah, and then fighting is good against
Dark.
Ninja Dark.
Okay, so there is a pattern.
Yeah, Gen 5 and beyond, or before, didn't do that.
Right. Okay. So that could be interesting. That kind of throws my theory out the window, but hey, who knows?
Well, there's also talk at one point that thinking that the triangle would be reversed, where maybe the secondary type of each would be good against the other one. But that...
We're getting layers upon layers.
Yes.
So as of right now, without knowing middle of first stage, second stage evolution, who'd you choose?
Basically, without really thinking, Fire. I've just followed a really stupid pattern where Gen 1 I did Grass, Gen 2 I did Fire, Gen 3 I did Water, and I've been repeating. Gen 9, I'm going to be looking closely at the Water. Yeah, Turtwig and Diamond Pearl.
Tepig and...
Yep.
And then
Froakie.
You did do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we've been doing back and forth. He gets one, I get the other version for, I think, since Ruby Sapphire. And I have not noticed this pattern.
Yeah. But then again, honestly, all three of them, I like them. Sobble took the longest to kind of grow on me. And I think Grookey grew more on me than... Because I thought he was horrible at first. But, but no, he actually is pretty cool.
Monkey.
Yep.
Right now, I'm probably going to go Sobble. Unless... I mean, trying to make... back in the day, it was... we got to figure out who's getting the 3 starters so we can make sure everyone gets them.
Yep.
It's not that big of a deal anymore with the GTS, which I'm sure will be in the game. So that's... I'd probably go Sobble unless a final evolution really sticks out to me. I'm usually stick with Water. I've changed that up a few times. I got Chespin and X. I got Torchic and Sapphire. I think I've been Water everything else though. So I've at least dabbled in all the types.
Yep.
But I like them. I think they'll be fun. It's not... I don't think it's like last generation where everyone just really attacked Poplio because of its final evolution.
Yeah.
But how do you compare? How do you compete with Rowlet?
Well, easily. I think Rowlet's kind of meh design-wise. It's cute and all, but I think Decidueye really makes up for it.
Have you seen any of the Sun and Moon anime?
Nope.
Ash has a Rowlet, and it's...
Adorable?
It's great.
Okay.
It has... That thing emotes.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to show you some stuff. Okay.
I think it's on... I think the next season's coming to Netflix or something.
The first part of Sun and Moon is on Netflix right now.
When someone watches this in 4 years or something, it's going to be completely wrong.
So, moving on. One thing that's really interesting that we aren't supposed to know is a couple weeks back, Nintendo tweeted about the gyms and called the gym leaders gym masters. They promptly deleted that, but being the internet, we all now know.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the gyms? And it looks like they look like stadiums from what we've seen, and it almost looked like the trainer changed into a soccer outfit.
Well, we don't necessarily know that the soccer outfit thing was... Because for all we know, instead of it being the Battle Tower, Battle Subway, Battle who cares what it is, it could be the Battle Dome or Battle Stadium, where I think Battle Dome's been used.
I don't think they'd show that right now. Maybe.
Yeah. Or, well, and then being that it's in the UK, soccer is popular there, who knows, we could actually see a it would make sense for something to be themed based off of it. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't necessarily think that's the gym.
Okay.
And I think that honestly, for master or calling them gym masters, that could be just a mistake, a typo. Leader and master aren't necessarily, they're kind of synonyms, so it could be a translation issue. Or
so you're thinking the gyms are going to kind of go back to how they were back in X and Y?
Yes, X and Y. I was about to say, no, not Sun and Moon. No, bad. No, but yeah, as long as they keep, it's one thing that's always worked. So why not just keep it like that? Thank you, phone, for interrupting me. I just kind of hope they keep it as is.
Something I was hoping for, and they might be able to pull it off here, but it looks like Galar's a little bit linear, go one way, and we could be wrong about that, was I still would love a Pokemon game where you can kind of challenge any gym in any order, and just what Pokemon they have depends on how many badges you have.
That would be, well, they've kind of did that with Zelda, in that they made a big jump away from linearity with Link Between Worlds and Breath of the Wild, and it really paid off. So I would absolutely love to see that.
Because they showed that off in the Pokemon Origins anime.
Yeah.
Where Red went to Brock, the first gym, and he asked how many badges, and Brock went to a little control thing, and it popped up specific Pokemon.
Yep.
So it would make each Pokemon journey. You could go to Manchester, because I'm just going to name places in England, Manchester town, and I'm going to go to Scotland. It's not in England.
Well, it's in the UK, but
it's close enough. So we all now, or we end up going to the same place, but it leads to some more
personalized journey,
which I think would be neat. They can pull this off, but it just seems really linear to do it.
There's a problem, and I've got a solution for it.
Okay.
It's one of those kind of out of left field. This would be really awesome, but who knows if they'll actually do it. If they did a non-linear approach, it'd be cool if they had a way to restart the game and play through the plot again. But then you do get to keep all your Pokemon at the end from your previous playthrough. Kind of a new game plus sort of thing. And if they did the non-linear gym thing, okay, maybe it would be more fun to take this gym first, or at least once you know kind of what Pokemon are where. It would be horrible to take on maybe a ghost type gym first. So going around, or knowing, if you knew the world a little better, you'd be able to take it more easy. It would be an easier approach.
I see where you're going. That's good work.
But then at the end, you'd also have to work out, okay, do you get all your money back? Or, well, when you do a new game, do you lose all your money? Do you...
Only if you put it in the bank before you play the Ocarina to go back to the first day.
Pretty much, yeah. That, and you'd probably have to put all the Pokemon from your previous playthrough in a special box that you just can't access until you beat the game again, and that'd be weird. And
well, I imagine that they're going to bring bank over.
Yeah.
To the Switch. They have to. So you can just move it onto that, I would assume. That's my theory. I can't imagine them not doing bank. So yeah, I think that, I do agree. I think the gyms are going to be pretty much the same, maybe some different verbiage. I kind of hope the insides are more dynamic, kind of like they were in Let's Go, and just a little bit more interactive. Sabrina's gym was really awesome.
I despised it because
it was hard.
The teleportation got it,
but it looked great when you're.
It did.
I really enjoyed that of Let's Go. So I'm hoping that comes over from Let's Go. But something that doesn't look like it's coming back from Let's Go is random encounters are back.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
That's just fine. It's status quo. I mean, it's not you can't go back to what worked and call it a step backwards. I mean, yeah, you can make arguments that the non-random encounters were kind of neat, but really, they didn't add... I don't think they added something truly special.
I've seen a lot of people talk about that, and I think it's coming from a mindset of people who haven't played Pokemon in a while. And you have to remember, Let's Go is an easier Pokemon game. It is meant to draw in the casual Pokemon Go mobile app crowd, along with new people. Like, I have a young daughter. It is easy for her to pick up and play. Now I have to make sure she has a strap onto the Joy-Con, because she will accidentally throw the Joy-Con across the room to try to catch a Pokemon, and has. And so, but it's meant for a different demographic almost. But it still had enough charm I still enjoyed myself for the most part. There was parts of it was like, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you pretty much said what I had to say about it.
So I think it's a good thing they're gone. I know some people aren't happy, but I'll let you start the next little topic.
Talk about the world?
Yeah.
Or, well, the region. Yeah, so it's the UK upside down. There's no bones about it. It's very clear. It's obviously a little misshapen and all that stuff. Kalos was pretty close.
It was close, but everything still takes liberties.
Yeah.
And that's fine. It's close enough to where you know where Kalos was. You knew where oh gosh, why can't I think of 5th gen?
Unova.
You knew that.
That was a little more obscure.
Well,
and the first 4 generations being in Japan, especially Gen 1 and 2, it was one of those, it wasn't obvious from the get-go.
No.
And when you finally saw that, okay, yeah, it kind of makes sense, then...
You had that, moment.
Yeah.
Especially when you see both Kanto and Johto next to each other with Mount Silver in the middle. It's like, okay... Yeah.
Yeah. And Hoenn is just, I can't remember the name of the island to the south, rotated.
Too much water.
Yeah.
Bad.
Sinnoh is northern Japan. Alola, believe it or not, Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Yep. Well, not quite Hawaii, but based off of it, yeah.
Not quite, but yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the less I talk about Sun and Moon, the better.
Yep. So, yeah, so Galar is basically upside down UK. You start, I'm assuming, near the bottom of the map where it looks nicer and hillier, and
it seems like you're making your way up, because if you look towards the north of the map in the ice where it's snowy, there seems to be bigger buildings, even a tower, which could be the Pokemon League.
Yeah. Well, it kind of looked, there's also something, it kind of in the top right corner of the map, which if we reversed it would be about Wales. So the champion might be Welsh. That's a thing. But yeah, it seems fairly straightforward, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. Also, the world looked really open. It actually looks almost like it could be an open world game.
It seems like your path when you're walking is still a little bit controlled.
Exactly.
Which is like, I know, again, people are not happy with it, but I think it's still fine.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting Breath of the Wild here. Yeah. And I know some people are, and you need to scale back that expectation. You're also not going to go to all the other regions at the end of the game. Just I guess.
Yeah.
So don't expect that either, which I'll talk about that in a little bit, actually.
But at least at least as an advantage, though, they did show off at the beginning of the big trailer old Pokemon. So it's not like you're going to be railroaded into only using new Pokemon.
Part of me wants that, though, because they did that in Black and White. Where, was it both Black and White and Black and White 2, or was it?
I want to say, I think Black and White was new only.
Okay.
And then Black and White 2 introduced some older Pokemon. But I think Black and White also did a thing where once you beat the Elite Four, they changed the spawn table.
Yes.
So yeah.
And that's what I kind of was wanting, because I remember, no matter what, my goal is when I make a team in a new Pokemon game, is to make my team only of new Pokemon for the region, just so I can experience them a little bit more. And that's just a self-made challenge, not really a challenge. I hope there's a good number of new Pokemon, not like Johto numbers, which is pretty small.
No, I think it was Gen 6 was the smallest.
Seriously? Why does that feel like they're really big?
I think they only had 60-some.
Okay. Well,
But they added the Mega Evolutions. And
that made a difference.
Gen 7 was also kind of small, but they added the Alolans. Which, are we going to have Kalos-centric Pokemon?
I hope
Or Galar-centric, gosh.
Man, you know your regions.
There's only 7 others.
But I hope they don't restrict themselves to just picking from one generation.
Mm-hmm.
I have an issue with Pokemon and Nintendo just nostalgia baiting people with Kanto.
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating me at this point. I love Gen 1. It's where I started, but I wanted to see Alolan versions. Alolan. I'm gonna leave that in. Alolan versions of other Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many possibilities, but no. Oh look, we get a bunch of Kanto ones. Oh my god.
And while it's neat, was anybody's life really enriched by Alolan Rattata?
By Eradicated it was. With the chunky cheeks are just adorable.
And then let's take another normal type Pokemon and make it fat-faced. Let's try Meowth, maybe?
Meowth didn't have the chunky cheeks. Persian did.
Yeah, fair. But yeah, it just seemed weak. But then
Some of them seem weak.
But then you have other things like Alolan Marowak, Exeggutor.
I thought Golem was pretty cool.
Golem was awesome.
Especially with the typing.
Yep.
You could... Exeggutor became dragon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Part dragon. That was pretty cool. I wish we would have gotten some Alolan versions of starters, which have been pretty neat.
Yeah. But there's also a rumor going around that we'll get armored versions of Pokemon.
Okay, so maybe it is going to be armored, but
I
that rumor...
really hope that's not the case.
That rumor came about right when they were showing off the new Pokemon movie in Japan, which is just a CGI remake of Mewtwo Strikes Back, which has an armored Mewtwo that Giovanni puts him in. That rumor has nothing to do with this.
Exactly.
Now you could have armored form because of Shield, and that's where people are getting that.
Mm-hmm.
I can almost see them, and I don't think it'd be game-based, like only Sword would have one and only Shield would have one, but maybe like attack mode, defense mode kind of stuff. No, I'm not trying to make a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference.
A Geoslash.
Just like a Geoslash. I think he's going to play a part, not in the overarching story, but he'll definitely be... His form will be in the game. Side note, I do believe there's going to be Corgis, because the Queen likes Corgis.
That would be awesome.
What if the... off topic, but kind of on topic. The champion is a frail old lady with nothing but Corgi Pokemon.
That would be awesome. Well, never mind. There's something I saw a long time ago that's relevant, but not good for audio.
I'd be okay. I really would be okay with different forms. But at the same time, I don't like how, especially since Gen 6, here's the gimmick of the generation, Mega Evolution, and now it's pretty... I would not be surprised if we do not see it in Sword and Shield. Then we have the Z moves, which I'm not a fan of the Z moves, but I have a feeling they're going to get dropped eventually, if not by this game.
Yeah.
And I'd like things to cross over, especially with stuff like, specifically Mega Evolution, which enriches the lore a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, let's keep it going, and you don't need to have, here's 30 new Mega Evolutions for this generation. Have a few from the new Pokemon, maybe one or two new ones from old, but just keep old ones.
Yeah.
And make the the Mega Stones, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Mega Stones accessible to purchase.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with purchasing, but I did really dislike the fact that you had to hunt for all of the Mega Stones, and
That was a bit much.
they made it simpler, and things like Let's Go, but it's still kind of an annoying feature. So yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you won't hear it, but I had to take a drink of water, so I kind of threw Matt off. I want to, if they implement something, I want to see it continue moving forward.
Yeah.
I think a armored form might be neat, but I don't know. Just make them turn into knights.
Yeah, but if anything, just make a new appearance for them. Now, granted, with Alola, Alola, you had tropical themes, so yeah, taking a palm tree Pokemon and making it look more like a palm tree
Makes sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Making Raichu a surfer dude, as
Perfect.
weird as it is.
Yeah.
But they made him psychic, so it made sense why he floats on his tail. They had
But
context.
it'd make more sense if he was water type.
Yes. Quiet with your logic.
Yep. Anyway, so, but then again, what is so great about the UK? It's
Simon
It's
Pegg.
known for being fairly rainy and cold, and that's not really all that special.
Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm just answering your question.
Hey, you pronounced his name right.
I did. I think that might have been the first time in my life, and I have it on record.
Yeah.
Record. Oh God, I can't talk.
Okay, and then there's Rowan Atkinson, who's Mr. Bean. You got that.
For those of you who don't know who Mr. Bean is, he also does Zazu from The Lion King.
Yep, that's special.
It was. Not the new one that comes out this year. The old one.
The good one. So yeah, actually on that thought though, the world,
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool if they did kind of a throwback and had some less than subtle cameos. There's a belief that Looker is based off of the, 10th Doctor? The one played by David Tennant.
You're asking the person who hasn't watched much Doctor Who,
Okay.
as you are the person who's watched Doctor Who.
I haven't watched it in a while, but...
You watched that Doctor. But
yeah.
yes, the Looker's based off David Tennant.
Well,
So
we don't know that, but yeah, there's a lot of British celebrities who could be have stuff based off of.
I want a name raider who is and looks like Simon Cowell, who just, no matter what your name is, he says negative things.
That would be awesome.
I just want that.
Mm-hmm. It would be awesome if somehow they turned Queen Elizabeth into the champion. It would be awesome if they somehow incorporated Mr. Bean, maybe as the move deleter. Because that would also be awesome.
That's kind of appropriate. I get that. I saw this online, and someone says, "What if one of the Elite Four was Austin Powers or something, or an Austin Powers-esque
Yeah.
type character?" Of course,
It was played by someone who is oddly not British.
was Canadian. That's kind of close to British because of the occupant. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. So that you could get that. You could get a Benedict Cumberbatch kind of thing. There's a lot of celebrities that still I don't think they'll take advantage of it as much as they should.
No.
But it'd be really neat.
And obviously, we wouldn't see the celebrities. They'd be similar.
Yes.
But
wouldn't it be Simon Cowell? It would be something. But he'd have his signature like V-neck shirt, have black hair, and it'd be very obvious it's meant to be him.
Yeah.
But not enough so to where lawyers don't have to get involved.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
So I think that might happen on a small scale. I'm still sad that in Kalos we didn't get a Gaston type trainer who says no one battles Pokemon like Gaston.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm probably my biggest sadness of X and Y. I enjoyed X and Y. I've recently learned the internet hates X and Y.
I liked X and Y.
I
I actually really didn't like Sun and Moon.
Yeah, we are in the group of Sun and Moon was weaker. Apparently the internet disagrees with us. I don't know. Anyways, I'm moving past that because it's
opinion. They're not really.
It is opinion. You're not wrong unless you love. Actually, I don't mind any of the regions truly, other than.
I thought you were about to say Sonic 06.
The holy grail of Sonic games. So moving, unless you have one, I have.
Really, in the world, I did notice that there's a lot of towns that are lit up at night really nicely. I'm looking forward to that. Looks like the world design is very nice.
Do you think they'll go back to day and night?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Was that in Sun and Moon?
Yeah, it was reversed though. If you were in Moon.
Oh, that's right, it was. Which that was neat. I will give them that one. I forgot. So yeah, they'll do that. Why did I think that wasn't a thing?
Yep. And really, the only other last thing I had on it was when the trailer first started and they started playing that music, the kind of remixed with, yeah. I don't like that. It's just a weak remix. I like the Pokemon theme, but I expect it to be more dramatic and sweeping, and that just feels rushed. And
I don't agree with you, and I just thought of the Elite Four, the Beatles. I don't know why that just came to my mind, but the Elite Four is the Beatles. I'll just leave you with that as I move on. I think Matt wants to smack me.
No, I'm trying to slap some sense of myself at this point. What? That just... Okay. That...
So the obvious thing that will happen, an evil team of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
What are you wanting from an evil team in a Pokemon game? What would you like to see in this region? What has worked? What hasn't worked in the past? Shoot.
What has worked? Pretty much everything in the past. What didn't work? The one exception, which is Team Skull. Team Skull they played nothing more than the role of hired thugs, and that's boring.
There was an opportunity with Skull.
Yeah.
Where you had the Aether Foundation, which everyone's like, well, they look kind of evil. Then you have Team Skull. They could have had don't judge a book by its cover. Don't make what's the main guy's name?
Guzma.
Guzma. Not make him a lackey to Luminescence or whatever her name was, and just have them end up teaming up with you eventually, and just learning about them a bit more. Where they've had bad lives, and this is just how they've been, and they're turning over a new leaf to help take out the real evil of someone fusing with a Pokemon, which Digimon did 15 years ago.
Yep.
So, but no, they fell back on, well, there was a miss. I liked the opportunity of Skull. I did like their aesthetics. It worked for me. Mm-hmm. I know not necessarily for you.
No, it was annoying, but effective.
I wanted so much more for them, and then when they just were nothing, it really made me mad. I will say I'm not a big fan of Team Plasma as in Unova, right? That was N and
yeah.
Okay, I didn't like that team. I don't know. That didn't work with me. I would have loved for something like Team Rainbow Rocket to be utilized in something better than a Ultra Sun and Moon.
Yep.
That had so much potential and got thrown to the waves. Oh, Flare. I didn't like Flare.
As far as what they were doing, that's okay, but especially the grunt design was just boring.
Yeah.
And the name is even uninspired.
Yeah, Flare seemed lazy, but I digress.
Yeah.
I
that's my other big complaint is Flare. But
so I want sorry, my wedding ring hit the table. I want a team that has a little bit of depth, because Team Rocket was very superficial, and that worked out early in the world of Pokemon and what they were going for. In Johto, they were trying to bring back Giovanni, so they had a little bit more depth, but still not a lot, but it worked. Then you have Aqua and Magma, which I did like the dueling team theme. I don't want it again though, but they both had their goals, and you could see both goals, even though they were both stupid and were going to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Until the Sky God stopped it.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Yes.
For a game released, how many years ago?
Will it bring you depression if you find out?
Probably.
Okay. I just want something where there's some depth into it. I just don't want an evil team because evil.
Yeah.
At least with Team Galactic, it seemed the leader, Cyrus, they were going for like a cult theme. He looked like a cult leader. Mm-hmm. He kind of he reminded me of Creed from The Office a little bit when you think about it. Just the look. And Creed. So
there's more money to be made. It's a lot more fun as a follower, but there's a lot more money to be made as a leader.
Exactly. So I want something more depth into them. I want them to either be somewhat sympathetic, like I kind of wanted Skull to be, or have someone really evil with some grunts that end up being like, what are we doing with this guy? He's going to get us all killed. Mm-hmm. He's going to summon the big Corgi legendary and kill us all.
Yep.
I just want something more. I
So what you're saying is you want another British dog like a West Highland White Terrier?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I don't have a name. Team Ruffian kind of works.
Well, one thing that I was thinking is if we tried to apply logic to a world where nothing of the sort has been applied yet, Kalos is supposed to be in France.
Oui.
Pretty much the opposite side of the world is Kanto, Johto, Hoenn. If Galar was where the UK is, then geographically, maybe they could have some sort of rivalry with Team Flare.
Have Team Flare kind of be revived a bit.
Yeah. Call them, Team Splash, and Team Flare start fighting.
That's a bit too much like Aqua and Magma.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it, but I'm just throwing out an idea.
I don't know. I do like the idea of almost having two factions again in that sense, where one's not on their home turf, but trying to take it over for X reason.
Yeah.
That's interesting. But I mean, we all know there's going to be an evil team. There always is. Let's see what's on my notes. So we talked about Gym Masters. One thing I'm sad about, this will probably be really quick. Why can't I have another game where Pokemon follow me?
Yep. Well, we know that from people cheating a little bit and doing some hacking that there was actually groundwork in Sun and Moon for that.
Was it? Oh yeah, it was Sun and Moon.
Yeah, it was Sun and Moon. And obviously it happened in Let's Go. So yeah, it is a little disappointing that that's not in there.
I get...
It is a lot of work to program that much animation for that many Pokemon.
For Let's Go, you had 153 you had to do, so it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So compared to, we're going to be well over 800 after Sword and Shield.
We are over 800.
Oh, we are, aren't we?
We're at 80 something.
We're just over 800.
Yeah.
So we're going to be late 800s. If we get 100 new Pokemon, that's 900. Oh my gosh. 900 Pokemon. So I get it is a lot of work. I still kind of want it.
Yeah. Well, then again, everyth's a 3D model. You just have to scale it.
So you have to scale it. You have to do running animations. You have to program. It's work.
Yeah.
And I guess if it's a factor of we get Pokemon this year, but no Pokemon following you, or it gets delayed and Pokemon are following you.
Or they could easily come out with Pokemon. What would the third version of Sword and Shield be?
Gun, of course.
Gun. And yeah, they'll add that.
Shield.
Or they could easily just add it in an update, which is something modern games can do now. Hooray!
Another celebrity. Bond. James
Yes.
Bond. What? I'm just going to keep randomly thinking of British people here.
Well, he's also fictional.
You're fictional.
Yep, next you're going to say that, Robin Hood needs to be in it. And,
which Robin Hood?
I don't know who played him in Men in Tights.
I accept that.
Okay.
I don't remember either.
No, the robot one from the one episode of Doctor Who. Oh, crap, spoiler.
The fox from the Disney version.
Shoot, he was a robot.
Let's talk post-game.
Yeah.
Let's reflect a bit on some of the past post-games. Let's Go didn't have one.
Disappointment.
Whoa, I didn't know it was that bad for you.
The most they've ever done was the Battle Frontier.
That's what I want back.
That would be nice.
It doesn't have to be Battle Frontier, but Battle Frontier-esque. Like the Battle Tree and Sun and Moon, they were trying, but it didn't work.
Yeah, it's nothing more than the Battle Tower, except they named it something else. And the Battle Tower is a bare minimum at this point, but it would be nice to have more stuff.
I want
even
more.
Things like with Let's Go, adding new trainers that you can fight. Spoiler. Being able to re-challenge gyms.
They aren't spoilers if Nintendo has a freaking trailer that has them in it.
Red, blue, and green. Happy?
No, because that would have been a neat little thing to find green.
Yeah. But still, Yeah, just add more stuff. That's, if you want to make people happy, you got to add another challenge.
So,
Even with my idea of a new game plus, maybe make it an option so you can make the game harder. That way you've beat the game, good for you. But no, now you can actually challenge yourself and maybe even give yourself, hey, my trainer card's actually a different color if I beat the game on hard mode.
what if they add in stuff like where you can force a Nuzlocke in the in-game programming?
Oh, wow. That would be absolutely horrible.
The only thing is they'd have to allow multiple save files. Now, different profiles on your Switch can do that, would be the idea. So, Yoshi, each profile has one game, which is something I found out after starting, which bothered me for some reason. So, I don't know. But I feel like if you're going to have like a Nuzlocke kind of thing or different, like create your own challenge mode, which would be kind of like you can put different restrictions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, that'd be really that.
Yeah. But then what happens if, let's say they did it like a New Game Plus. You beat the game, now you can make your own version. You make a Nuzlocke that is so hard it's basically unbeatable. Do you allow an option to wipe it and go back to your completed game?
That's why I want multiple save files, because you can have slot 1 be your main game, start New Game Plus Nuzlocke on slot file 2. Oh look, I've set this so hard that I can't get past anything. I still have everything from my original game.
Yeah.
But they know Nuzlocks and self-imposed challenges for Pokemon keeps a lot of those games alive. People play Platinum, Emerald, and all those old ones because of it.
Yeah.
Still. So to implement it in-game would be really cool.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in my notes. I just thought of that.
Well, and then they have also been a lot more receptive to people. I mean, some of the things that happened in Smash are directly related to the community. I almost guarantee you Waluigi will be in the next Smash. Things like that.
He's too big. No.
Ridley is absolutely an ultimate because of that. So, yeah, if people start talking about it, it's more likely to happen. I see it.
They pay more attention anymore, but so that could be it. I do want something like the Battle Frontier-esque. You do bring up a point with Kalos being close proximity, probably the closest region.
Well, we don't know that. We know that they're in the same world.
If we're looking at our world map, logically, UK and Paris, France are close compared to Hawaii and Japan and stuff like that. So it would be neat if they kind of go back to, I'm not saying do every region, but after you beat the game, especially if they go with that idea of Team Flare and Team, I'm going to call them Splash because I can't think of anything better, you have to go over to Kalos. Maybe not necessarily to take on all the gyms again, but to have another, more story.
Even if it's, okay, you take a boat, you end up at a harbor where something is happening, and the only bit of it is that harbor area. Where they don't have to put the whole region in, but technically you're there.
And it could be neat if there is some big threat where you see some of the biggest names in the games coming together to try to stop a threat.
Yeah.
Like, oh look, this new legendary has come forth. It's doing destruction over in Kalos. Oh look, there's Steven, there's Cynthia, there's the girl with the Gardevoir from X and Y. I can't remember her name. Begins with a D.
Oh geez. I want to say Diancie, but that's really wrong.
That's Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of neat to see these old
Dimanthia or something. I forget.
These old champions, or even some of the Elite Four members. See lands and stuff, and
it's almost one of those things where all they have to do is put the character in the game. They don't even need to do anything. People will eat up the fact that, hey, you can see Lance standing in a corner. Excitement.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I want a good post game to where you want to keep playing, and I know they did online tournament challenges. I want them to keep doing that afterwards to keep the game alive. But I feel like there needs to be a bigger draw. At least for myself, it was always hard to kind of do that. Not because the system didn't work or I couldn't battle anyone. I just didn't have a drive.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you have to give us gold coins like Tetris did. I'm just something. Here's some customizable clothes for your trainer. Here's
to be fair,
items.
I did play the heck out. I couldn't play it anywhere near as much that weekend. I guarantee you that's why I didn't win. It's my excuse.
So, there's a lot of possibilities. It being the first main series Pokemon on a system is really interesting.
Yeah, that's going to drive a lot of interest, just as is. It also, though, might end up being the most expensive Pokemon game at launch.
Because people buy 2 versions.
Well, no, just because console games normally cost $60.
It's going to be 60.
Yeah.
Let's go with 60.
Yeah, true.
There's absolutely no reason this wouldn't be 60.
Yeah.
There's rumors of 2 new Switch models I'm sure you've seen about.
Yep.
The Pro model, which whatever. But the Mini, or whatever it would be called, where it's a undockable version of the Switch, so handheld only. Do you think that's real? And do you think that would help sales?
If it's cheaper, well,
First have to be cheaper.
Could it exist? Yeah, it's absolutely plausible. The system is now, well,
2+ years old.
Well, when it was developed, though, because remember, there was a printing phase and everything, so it's absolutely plausible that there could be a smaller version.
Yeah.
But it's really, if it's cheaper, then absolutely it will help drive sales.
It would be interesting to release that on a year. We're getting 3 games that are been big on handheld. And so Animal Crossing, so Wild World and New Leaf specifically were very big for Animal Crossing. Fire Emblem has always really been on handheld except for a few exceptions.
Yep.
And now Pokemon. And so you have these 3 once handheld focused games. You can now say, instead of a $300 system, $150.
Yep.
Because you don't need the dock stuff. The Joy-Cons are probably not really existent. They're attached permanently.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to scale the size of stuff. So for Christmas, Black Friday, mommy, I want Sword and Shield, but I don't want to pay $300 for a system. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Now here's a $200 bundle with Sword or Shield and a special looking mini Switch.
Yeah. Really, the one thing that I don't see that seems the most implausible is that it will lose a lot of compatibility with a lot of games. If you can't detach the Joy-Cons, there's a lot of games that immediately go out the window.
Well, you cannot
play 1-2 Switch. And I know that's crushing, but...
You can't play Super Mario Party. You can't manipulate Cappy with Super Mario Odyssey.
Technically you could if you had extra or other Joy-Cons, I guess.
Well,
but then charging them, it means you have to buy the charging grip or the charging dock. And then are you really saving money by getting a smaller one? Also...
I don't think they'd be making another size of Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it would just be permanently attached.
So, if it's real, it would be a good time to release it before this and then have bundled with it.
Yep, and no Labo either. If the Joy-Cons were permanently on there.
So there's some things that just couldn't work, which makes me kind of iffy about the Mini ever really existing, but I see the logic.
Yeah, it's a fantastic idea. At the very least, Nintendo would definitely be smart to have a price drop in the base model of the Switch.
I mean, we're going into year 2 of our second Christmas with the Switch.
Let's be real. When is the game coming out? They say 2019. It's late 2019.
It's going to be the November game. They always have a November game. I'm saying November 22nd. Let's Go was released the week before Thanksgiving. I'm saying this is going to be released the week before Thanksgiving as well. You're looking at a calendar.
Yeah, I'm just... The other thing I would guarantee is it's with the other big Nintendo games, it's going to be a Friday. So yeah, the Friday, November 2019.
I say that...
November 22nd.
I think Pokemon's going to be the November game. I think Link's Awakening will be the December game.
Yep.
That's my running theory.
Yeah, because good and well, Link's Awakening is not going to sell as well as Sword and Shield. Mostly because I own, 3 copies of the game, technically?
Are you buying it?
I don't know yet. Because I have the Virtual Console on 3DS I've got, and then I've actually got the original cartridge and the
DX.
Yeah.
Wrong franchise.
Yeah, anyway.
So, we're both really excited for Sword and Shield. I'm hoping... I don't want a new Pokemon every year. I want there to be some space. We've gotten a new Pokemon game every year since, I think, Black and White 2.
Yeah.
I have to look back. Let us get Sword and Shield. 2021, no Pokemon game. No mainline-ish Pokemon game.
What about if they did, let's go some Johto Pokemon, let's go some other Johto Pokemon?
Togepi, Pichu.
Phanpy, Wooper.
It's mainline-ish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wouldn't like it.
I think Let's Go is good. It's sold well enough. You're right. We're gonna get a Johto version.
If anything, though, what we should get is, instead of a proper main series, go with one of those big Pokemon games that's not main series. Let's see Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Switch. Let's see
Pokemon Conquest 2.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. I regret not playing that more than I did.
It was a good game. Not going to happen, but so we've had Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors. Let's do Pokemon Warriors.
Oh, jeez.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to put every single Pokemon in.
No, you'd have to put the most popular ones in.
And you'd have to have little peon characters. What are you going to do? Just tear down fields of Rattata and Oddish and...
That or fields of rocket members. Grunts. But then you have Pokemon attacking you. Okay. Anyways, we're going... my last question...
How many people did you kill in this level of Pokemon?
And then you just see like a quick Mega Lucario give you a thumbs up.
And if you've ever played them, it's not unheard of to get scores in the thousands. So if you're killing, Dynasty Warriors, just peons in ancient China, that's one thing, but...
Oh, it's okay if it's Gorons, but it's not okay if it's humans and Pokemon?
Yep.
Unless you have something else, I have one last thing.
Nope.
Sword or Shield, what are you getting?
Well, no matter what, if you're hard set on one, I'm getting the opposite.
That's my thing.
Yeah. So I kind of like red more, so Shield maybe.
Alright. Then right now, unless you change your mind, you can get I don't care. Again, I was a firm believer in hoping that they'd actually eliminate the 2 versions.
Yeah.
And I have an idea for a video about discussing that later. What the point of them long ago was great. I honestly kind of think it's just a money thing now, because so many people will buy both versions.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is, at least with the GTS, even though the reason I want to get the opposite of you is because if I get Shield exclusive A and you get Sword exclusive A, we could trade it. That's great. That's the point. But on the GTS, there's going to be 40 billion Sword exclusive A's, and they're going to be wanting Shield exclusive A's.
Exactly.
And that's vice versa.
And that's kind of why I just think it's time to eliminate some things. Just because it ain't broke, don't fix it. Doesn't apply to everything.
Yeah.
No, it's not a broken system. It is kind of fun to get the opposite of your friend or your sibling or your spouse or whatever.
Well, and I guess one other problem is, since Ruby Sapphire, where, Team Magma and Team Aqua were significantly different.
Yeah.
The areas, their hideouts were significantly different.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually kind of benefit from playing both versions. In X and Y, the only difference was the legendary and the few Pokemon here and there. Sun and Moon. You got the exciting bit of the day and night cycle was reversed if you were in Moon. That's not really special, though.
And it got so weird to the fact that Nebby would just evolve into the legendary of your box.
Yeah.
It seemed almost like they were writing it for one legendary.
Mm-hmm.
And then, oh wait, we got to do 2.
Yep.
So, my last tangent. But November will be fun. I would like to say I can't.
Probably.
Probably November will be fun. I'd like to say I cannot wait, but I think I can because we have a lot of great games coming out this year. We got Mario Maker 2. I know you're not a big Fire Emblem fan. I am, though.
I may get it.
Animal Crossing.
I am going to play that way more than I should.
There's a lot of games coming out this year, and you know there's always at least one or two surprises in store for an E3 as well that we'll know about.
I know. Well, we might actually finally get the launch date for Untitled Goose Game.
100-hour game easily.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for watching the Nintendo Network. What are your guys' thoughts on Sword and Shield? What do you want? What don't you want? What are you excited for? Even tell us what starter you're looking forward to playing as. Let us know in the comments below. If you like this, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and check us out on Twitter. And now if you'll excuse me, ... I can't think of anything clever to say. I didn't prepare anything. Waka waka. You got
What?
it. I said I couldn't think of anything.